All right, well, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here to answer your plant and garden questions. You can always email those to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us on this.
You're welcome.
Very, very pleasant day today.
It is a pleasant day.
Yes.
I could stand it to be a little cooler, but it's not terrible.
There we go. Perfect day to garden. And
yes,
Robin
indeed.
is out there. She wants to know if she can transplant her peonies now, or does she have to wait till they turn brown? And if not transplanting, can she trim them back?
So best time to transplant peonies is really in this time of year, so early September. You can definitely, I wouldn't cut them back just yet, unless they're all sort of fungusy, but cut them back, or I'm sorry, dig them out. You can split them if you need to, and then put them in the ground and use a starter fertilizer like a root hormone or a rooting stimulator so that they get their roots done. The other thing you'd want to do is hold off on putting down any mulch until the ground is frozen, because you want the freeze and thaw cycle to not heave them out of the ground. So don't mulch them quite yet. Put them in the ground, fertilize them with a root stimulator, and then after the ground is frozen, then you can put down some mulch, some bark mulch. So put a bag in your garage so it won't freeze.
There we go. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shirley asks, how do you prune a climbing rose for winter? I just learned what that was.
Yeah, so there are roses that just have very long canes. Those are the very long branches, and they get very tall. And they are called climbing roses, although they don't climb on their own. You have to attach them. Not like a vine where it's going to sort of twirl around a structure. So it depends on what kind of rose you have. If it is one of the newer varieties, it's more than likely very winter hardy, and it's on its own roots, so in which case you just let it go, and then in the spring, when it starts to bud out, you cut out anything that died. If it's an older climbing rose, what they used to do is take them off the structure that they're climbing on, tip them over onto the ground, and then mulch them to protect it. But more than likely, her climbing rose is newer and does not require that kind of intervention.
Okay. And then a last question I think we have here for now is from Jane. I have several very small hydrangea that I planted in pots outside this summer. I intend to replant them in my garden, but if I can't get the time, could I bring them inside in their pots for the winter?
Well, really, hydrangeas, garden hydrangeas, will not do well indoors during the winter. They need a dormancy period to develop those flower buds. So best thing to do is to get them into the ground and soon. And again, you'd want to use a root stimulating fertilizer to get them really going. If you can't get them into the ground, then best thing to do is to put them like in your garage, especially if it's unheated, on an interior corner. You can leave them in their pots there, and then make sure that they get watered every couple of weeks to keep them alive, and then take them back outside when the weather gets nice.
Okay. We got a last minute question. How deep should I plant magic lily bulbs, Doris asked. Okay,
so I'm assuming she's talking about surprise lilies, also called naked ladies or resurrection lilies.
Oh, this is a family show.
This is a lily that sends leaves up in the spring, then it dies back, and then later in the summer, just the naked stem comes up with the flower at the top with no foliage. Oh. And now is about the time that you'd be planting them, and what you would want to do would be to plant them pretty deep. I'd say 6 to 8 inches deep, and put down some bone meal or some bulb fertilizer to get them going.